for a little Toy Tuesday. Now, our primary focus tonight is going to be on the Auburn blueprint. Now, we tried to look at this Sunday night, but it was big. We talked about it a little bit because of the emblems from a couple weeks ago. You remember on Sunday nights we do the super cool badges, and we had some super cool badges. We tried to look at this blueprint, but it was so big we couldn't really hold it up. So we're going to check it out tonight. Now, it all started off when we started looking at these, the supercharged badges for the 1935-1936 Auburn Boattail Speedster. That's when we started talking about the blueprints. We had done these a few years ago, but a lot of you guys don't remember. Ryan and Amy are here. Didn't remember when we had done it. We tried to look at them. So much glare, kind of hard to hold them up in the office. So I told you we'd check it out tonight. So we're going to examine these blueprints a little bit better. Tweedledee made it. And we'll see how much time that takes. We've got a few other things laid out. If we've got a few minutes after we get down to the blueprints. Lee from New York. David W. is here. Norma's on with us. Big Job made it tonight. So we're going to start off. Pete's on. A lot of our regular nobodies back already for some Toy Tuesday. So we're going to check this thing out. Hopefully you guys are able to get a good look at it. Kevin's on with us. And we've still got glare because we've got the overhead lights, but maybe we can look at it. Jim's on with us. Pure Pontiac's here. Jim's ready to go. So let's see if we can get a little better look at this thing tonight. Bill Disk is on. Clark's here with us. Bill Wagaman's on. So glad you guys all made it tonight for some Toy Tuesday. Alex stopped by today, by the way. Alex come through from Sunday night, picked up his big super cool Studebaker trunk ornament that he bought a couple weeks ago on the Sunday night auctions, as well as the Auburn knockoff badge. Went out to the yard, looked around a little bit. Alex made him a list of some possibilities that he might be interested in, so it was great to meet Alex. Glad he was able to stop by today. Johnny Z made it. Steel Ponies Jeff Taylor is on with us. So Alex picked up his stuff, grabbed him a t-shirt. Peter from Down Under's on. Glad you're here. Welcome to World of Wheels on Wednesday for you guys. 18 inches of snow, you can keep all of that. Kevin M's here with us. I don't want any snow. We've had some rain. We fortunately haven't had any snow that amounted to anything yet this year, so I'm hoping it stays that way. Not a big fan of the snow, so you can keep all of the snow wherever you're at. I don't want it. Anyway, looks like a lot of us are on. We're ready to go. Norma's on. Norma got her box. Perfect. Glad you got your box. Some more of the boxes are on the way. There's a few more that just went out today that came in on some late payments. So a lot of that stuff went out today. Still a few things I'm hanging on. Tweedledee, I know I've got yours here with, so I've got some other stuff waiting on you as soon as I get your check. So I've got your address. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. All right, perfect. Jim says hit the like button. So yeah, Tweedledee, your box is the only one left, and that's because I needed an address. But I know you're sending payment on that other stuff, so I'll get your address when you get that. So anyway, the Ford truck, got the Ford truck out? No, the camera's flipped around. Ford's right over there. We're going to flip the camera around. You'll still see it again. So, but anyway, let's check these blueprints out, see what you guys think of them, and take a little bit better look. See, there's the Ford. She's still tucked in there. There's a dumb cat, too, right there. Right, dummy? That is a lot of snow, and you can keep it. I don't want any of it. Well, here it is. Hopefully we can get a little bit better look at it. Bill's backwards, what's new? Yes, your window channel's on the way, Pure Pontiac. In fact, I bet you'll have it tomorrow because of the holiday, but it went out Saturday. So, yep, I bet you see it tomorrow. So here it is. This is the blueprint drawing that I've got. Now, to start off with, we talked about this a little bit. If you guys can make it out. Traced by Burig. Looks like 8/20 of 57. Dennis is here. Now, if you guys will remember, Gordon Burig was the designer of the 1935 Auburn Boattail Speedster, as well as the 36-37 Cord Coffin Nose 810 and 812. Brian Dispatch, my buddy, has a 39 Caddy Limo, all original, one repaint. That's sweet. We've got, obviously, you guys can see we got started on ours. The front clip is off. But, all right, Pete says you can see it a lot better tonight. Perfect. So we'll talk about the Cadillac a little bit more here in a minute. But this is traced by Burig. So I'm assuming that somebody wanted a copy of this, so Gordon Burig traced this for them. I got it from Doug Prey at Auburn Cord Duesenberg. So I'm assuming possibly Gordon Burig may have done this for Doug's dad, Glenn Prey. Possibly, you know, when Kevin says it's good. I'm glad you guys can all see it better. Kevin agrees. Maybe Gordon did this. It is an art print, Bill, that's for sure. That's why I was actually pretty geeked that Doug sold it. I wasn't sure that he would. Just looks like it just rolled out of The Godfather. I didn't know if Doug would sell this because I figured it had to have been something that Gordon Buehrig did for his dad, because his dad and Gordon Buehrig were friends. In fact, Gordon Buehrig was at the unveiling of the cord, the 8/10 cord in the mid-'60s that Glenn Prey designed and built. So I'm assuming that Gordon Buehrig, the original designer of this car, did this tracing off of an original blueprint. Obviously pretty good sized. You can see the different angles that it's got. We'll start up here in the corner. It shows a back quarter shot of the Boattail Speedster right there. You can kind of see some of the detail in it, how well it's drawn out, some of the specifics. I'm trying to keep some of the shadow off of there so you can see this, but I've never had this out of the frame. This is how I got it. I don't want to take it out of the frame. It's an okay frame. It's not a great frame. Has dimensions on it on what would be the left rear quarter. Now the next corner piece is the front, the right front. Once again, has the dimensions sketched in there. We see half of it, half the grill, half the side of the car. Now if we could see the other side of the car, over here where it would be the left side of the car, this is what would be there. That's the 851 that would have gone on the grill. That's a new old stock one from Auburn Cord Duesenberg. Never been on a car, directly out of their parts bin, that would have been on the left side of the grill of the 1935 Auburn Boattail Speedster. And then you've got the top view, literally just a top half cutaway, length of the whole car. Eric's late, but you're here. That's all that matters. Starting clear at the front bumper shows the headlight. We can see the half the grill. We can just put our emblem right there on it, just like it was there. Headlight fender, back to the V'd windshield frame. Pure Pontiac digs it. It's a cool piece, guys. I mean, I really didn't expect Doug to sell it. I asked him, I said, is that something you'd be consider parting with? He thought about it for a few minutes. He said he probably would, and I was like, holy cow. Because I don't know the whole story, but it's got to be pretty epic. We see the rear pontoon fender all the way back to the rear bumper. And now we get to the car. The whole full side shot of the 1935-1936 Auburn Boattail Speedster. You know, $1 million car in today's world, one of the most highly sought after cars from the 30s. Amazing designs, beautiful cars. You know, you can see the boat tail design right here where it slopes back to a point. This is still part of the body of the car, but the body line was a full boat tail where it came back and peaked. Now, Eric, don't think this one's going to be for sale. And then obviously we can see right here what started the whole conversation and why we even got this back out. The supercharged emblem on the side of the hood. Right next to the real one. We can look at the side view. We see where they show the center points in the wheels, the dimensions, the overall, the wheelbase length. Obviously, we can trace our, I don't remember what the horsepower was on these right off the top of my head. We can trace our center line from the wheel to this line, get our dimension on the wheelbase of 127 and 3/4. We take the other line, which goes from the front bumper, and then we can follow that line all the way back to the rear of 204 and 3/4. We can even see the shadow drawing. It's a little tough to see, but we can see the shadow drawing of the top up. Not prominent, you know, not as blatant as the car, but we see the shadow line of where the top would be. We see the shadow line of the seat and the shadow line of the steering wheel. You know, we're used to a lot of this 3D stuff that's all computer generated anymore. This was hand drawn. I believe it's paper. It looks like like a sort of a drafting paper is kind of what it looks like. Like I said, I've never taken it out, but it literally looks like an old school type drafting paper. We see the taillight stenciled in. We see the golf door stenciled in. So kind of an amazing piece. Now, the reason we were having trouble seeing this the other night is, I was in the office at the desk. And to put things kind of into perspective for you guys, this piece is, 38 inches almost with the frame. So the drawing itself is basically 3 foot. So to put it into perspective as far as the visual of it, the main view, side view of the car, if we start up here at the tip of the bumper and go all the way back, is 25 inches long. So you can definitely see it. All the detail in the louvers in the hood ornament, even the louvers in the grille are all sketched in. Even the center point of the headlight is sketched in. So it's really a pretty amazing piece to me. Like I said, I was geeked that Doug agreed to sell it. I was kind of surprised. I thought it may have been something he wanted to hold on to. But when he said he would consider selling it, I figured I better consider owning it, to say the least. And what's really cool, I love the fact that I can put the grill emblem right there with the car where it should be. I can put the supercharged emblem right there where it should be. And look at the design of one of the most magnificent automobiles ever created. And it's kind of a cool piece. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it probably won't end up in the trunk of your Camaro, Pete. I can probably just about guarantee you that it won't end up in the trunk of your Camaro. Back then, of course, you got to remember, in the mid-30s, something else to think about. Obviously, that was at the height of the Great Depression. The big three were really worried about selling anything. Everybody was worried about selling anything at the height of the Great Depression. Things were bad. To come out with a car like this, this off the rails, this expensive in that time period was crazy. But you look at all the big manufacturers of these luxury cars that didn't make it at that point, and pretty obvious to see why. They only built around 150 of these, so there were not a lot of them out there. Of course, but there again, the height of the Great Depression, most people were worried about important things like food and clothes, not a super high dollar, supercharged sports car. So when you put it in perspective for that time in history, the fact that this car even got built is crazy. The fact that this piece survived, the fact that it was traced by Gordon Buehrig right here at the bottom, which had to have been done off the original blueprints, to me, that's kind of off the rails. It's quite an amazing thing. I'm geeked to own it. I thank Doug for agreeing to sell it to me. And to me, it's a great piece of American history for fans of classic cars such as all of ourselves. So anyway, there she is. There's a little bit better look at the Gordon Buehrig tracing for the 1935 Auburn Boat Tail Speedster. You can kind of see it there on the table when you kind of got it all laid out, how big and massive this thing is. But there again, to me, it's a super cool piece. Yeah, I'm obviously excited about it. And I've had it for a couple years, and I'm still that excited about it. But anyway, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. And I'm glad we were able to all get a good look at it and be able to see it, really take that thing in, because you really do have to kind of take it in. A lot of comments about how great it is, and I appreciate that. I'm glad you guys like it. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it as much as I do, because I think it is a great piece of automotive history. And like a lot of you commented immediately right out of the gate, is it's art. And it is art to me. The fact that they drew this, I mean, they didn't do this on computers. They drew it out. They had to have the specifications. They had to have the center lines on the wheelbase and things like that, so they knew where things were going to go and see if it was going to work. That's what they had to do back in those times. So to be able to have a piece of that history in my collection is pretty cool, and I'm pretty excited about it. So anyway, that's what I've got for tonight. I think we'll probably go ahead and get ready to wrap up. We're already over 15 minutes. If we get anything else, we're going to end up going for quite a while. And I know I've got stuff to do, and I know a lot of you guys have stuff to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys liked the blueprint as much as I do. We had a lot of great feedback on it. Yeah, I think it's one of a kind. I don't think there's too many more out there. Oh, it's a 30. Brian's friend's got a 37 limo for her. Okay, that's still cool. But anyway, on the Cadillac, real quick, since some of you guys were asking, we got the front clip pulled off of it yesterday. The whole front clip's off of it, just the frame and front suspension sticking out in front of the car. No problem, Eric. That's what we got to try to do. So, you bet, Kevin. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Motor and tranny's out. We put new points and stuff in the distributor, and got started laying out the extra parts. Miraculously, it looks like there's one piece of clutch linkage missing, and the clutch fork doesn't look right. Dad did find the piece of linkage in the clutch fork that we were missing. He thinks he's got it found and coming. But according to the paperwork we found in that car, that engine was overhauled in '81. Rico and Jess are here. Peter's on. Glad you made it. Hope to see you next week. Numero uno stopped by for a little bit. Perfect. Sounds good, Brian. So so hopefully we've got those last couple pieces coming. But we found the paperwork on that engine. That engine was overhauled in 1981. So that car's been apart for over 40 years. So if we're missing, Clark had his 60 Caddy out on Sunday. 60s are great looking cars too. I love 60s. If that's all we're missing for buying a car at an auction in pieces that's been apart for over 40 years, I'm going to call that a win. So far, we're looking okay. So hopefully those pieces will get here soon, and we can get that tranny bolted back together, get her all slid back in the car, and see if that thing will fire up. So that's kind of an update on what we got done on the Caddy yesterday. I was working on shipping parts primarily today. Got a bunch of your guys' stuff on the way, as well as then Alex came through this afternoon, so just had to spend some time with him, show him some cars out at the yard. So still a good day, but just didn't get back on the Caddy. But like I said, we'll get those other pieces here and hopefully be able to get that motor and tranny stab back in that thing. So if you guys didn't catch that video last night, be sure to check it out. That thing's just such an awesome car. It is nowhere near perfect, but it's a pretty nice car considering it's pretty much all original and 84 years old now. It looks pretty darn good for being 84 years old and mostly original. So anyway, that's what we've got for tonight. I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to get on the computer and get some more work done yet tonight. And appreciate you guys stopping by, swinging by, hanging out, checking things out. What else is coming up this week? I don't know. I got so much stuff that's coming up, but I still got a lot of Pioneer. Anything Auburn Court Duesenberg's over the top. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. I like that stuff. Tweedledee going to send the check tomorrow. No problem, Tweedledee. But like I said, I just didn't have your address to ship the other stuff, but I've got your pile ready, Tweedledee. So as soon as I get that with your address, we'll get it all on the way to you. Let's see. Let me get caught back up. Things got crazy there. David W. I-80 Speedway in Nebraska is closing, auctioning everything. Had not heard that. Norma says, good night. Big job. Get ready for another Great Bend Easter Parade. Pure Pontiac liked it. That's right, Brian Dispatch. That is another thing, the way the doors and the windows work on that car. I mean, it's just never been touched. It shows 35,900 miles, and like I said, the documentation from when the previous owner bought it in the late 70s was documented at that point as being 35,000 actual. So, still pretty cool to it's like a time capsule almost. So, kind of excited about it. Like I said, it's been sitting around here for a few years. We've been needing to get on it. Just kind of decided now's the time we need to get this thing stabbed in there and see what we've got. Motor turns over good, feels great. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, it's been sealed up, so I don't think there's been any issues with it. And super excited to see this thing come together. So I'm glad you guys are excited about it. Glad you guys are along for the ride and having fun as well. With that, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Glad you enjoyed the blueprints. I love it. I think it's a piece of history. I'm glad you guys agree. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. We'll get some more videos coming up this week. We got tons more Pioneer Village stuff to come. In fact, as a matter of fact, Alex, Sunday night Alex that hangs out with us, is on the way to Pioneer Village as we speak. He left here and he headed north. He's like, I'm this close. I got to check it out. So he was going to start heading that direction tonight. I don't know how far he's going to get tonight, but he left the yard heading north for Pioneer Village to check it out himself. So a lot more stuff coming out on Pioneer Village. More new inventory. Still got Auburn Court Duesenberg stuff. Just a lot of cool stuff happening. Still got Meekum stuff. Twister Torino video. All kinds of cool stuff coming up. So stay tuned. We'll get some more cool stuff coming up. Yeah, Jess loves it too. I knew Jess was going to love it before she even got there. And then she got there, and I think she loved it even more. So place is pretty amazing. So if you guys haven't been there, put it on your list. You've got to check it out. We're going to bring you some more footage from there. We're going to teach you some more stuff about it. Big job. Can't wait to see the caddy coming together either. Yeah, and I agree. Like I said, I'm right there with you. So I hope Alex has a great time at Pioneer Village tomorrow. Everybody else definitely needs to get there and check it out because it's well worth the trip. Glad you guys like the Auburn Blueprint. I'm going to get to work. We'll get some more content up this week. We will see you all Sunday night live chat, 7 o'clock Sunday night Central Time. Hope to see you then. Have a great week, everybody.